You drag it to the one it goes in.
Oh my God, stop! Hold still. Wiggle, 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 yo. Wiggle, 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 yo. Wiggle, 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 yo. Wiggle, 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 stop!
Isaac has always been a very happy, smiling boy, joyful, playful, silly. I noticed right away he was very active. I took that as he's a boy and he's different than my daughter who was not as active. I noticed right away that he would explore things that my daughter didn't. For example, getting into cupboards, playing with objects differently, getting into the fireplace. He would just do different things that my daughter didn't do. A big one at 1 and 2 is no fear of danger. Running into the street, just not afraid of things. One time he climbed like a 10-foot ladder and he was like 1.5. I didn't really concern myself with the speech because even though he never really cooed, he did all the milestones. He walked at 10 months. He did have eye contact and he was playful, social, hugging people. He wasn't distant. He was a very happy-go-lucky baby and toddler. And then once one-year-old came around and 2 rolled around and there was still no mama, no dada, no ball, no words.
Hey, Andrew, when you make your bed, take your shoes off though, okay?
Andrew was on chemotherapy for brain cancer for almost 2 years. And we don't know when the autism set in. They didn't tell us that he had autism while he was a cancer patient because he was only given a 20% chance of survival, so they didn't think he was going to make it, so they weren't going to tell us there was something else. On his last day of chemotherapy, the neurologist came in and said, congratulations, you're so lucky that he survived, but I'm sorry to tell you that he has autism, and it's not fair that one kid should have a double whammy like this. We didn't believe it because to us, we didn't know what autism was. We thought it was someone who's not connected or interested in any other people. And Andrew's the most loving, affectionate, connected boy. But then when we started researching and finding out what autism is, we saw he doesn't communicate. He doesn't interact with other people other than his family, who he's very close to. Basically, anyone that he doesn't know, he won't even look at them.
Well, at first, I personally didn't like the label because I wanted people to see Isaac as a joyful, spunky, fun-loving kid. But if you say he has autism, immediately people go, oh. And they make a sad face because it's a label of this child's not going to be successful, this child has learning disabilities, this child may not succeed in life. It's much different than saying they have a speech delay or they have a learning disability. When you say autism, immediately they think pobrecito or poor kid.
I would say that everyone in our family dealt with the diagnosis differently. For me, it was a relief because it had a label and an action plan. I found the best, treatment program, I got trained on how to do the special diet. I felt empowered. I felt like, because I had to be doing something. As long as I'm doing something to help him, I can sleep at night and I can deal with the autism. I think the most difficult thing for me is because I thought, oh, if I do these things that are the treatments for autism, that he's going to recover from autism. And for the first 2 years, I was in that mode of, I'm going to do this and I'm going to recover my child from autism.
School psychologist sat in an IEP and she said to me, Yudi, you really have to lower your expectations. And I thought to myself, wow, lower my expectations. That wasn't even in my realm of thinking. And at first I kind of took it. I mean, she was the school psychologist after all. And then I went home and I was really upset. I thought nobody should tell me to lower my expectations. All these years I've been fighting to actually raise the expectations for all kids with special needs.
So the hard part for me was realizing that he wasn't going to recover, and then seeing him for who he is and trying to make him the best that he can be.
You need to be your child's biggest fan, and you need to be your child's advocate, and you need to look at their strengths and dream big for them. And something that I'm learning is that you need to be your child's voice, because with my child doesn't speak, I'm his voice. And I want people to see that they can be a voice for these children because they're so special, and he could they could, it's almost like I could draw it out like a well. You have to draw out their strengths. They're not gonna reveal them to you. You have to help uncover it and get through those layers.
So it was easy to teach him music. He can read music because all you have to do is tell him what the note is, and he can find it on the piano. And then we realized that he can find it by us just playing it, that he can tell us what the note is. Once he had a label, once it was categorized in his mind, once music was categorized in his mind, it was in there and he could just retrieve it. You can play any note or any chord and he can tell you what it is once he had a label for it. And with everything, we have to remember not to underestimate him because of the way he presents. Now I'm always in the mode of, okay, what's he going to do when he's 18? How's he going to live when we're gone? You know, I'm making plans and getting trained and doing all of that.
I already got a sense that as our kids grew up, there would be very limited opportunities out there for them. So this was always in the back of my mind. I always thought, someday I'm going to have to create a business for Noah. I'm going to have to do something so that my son will get out in the world and have something to do.
Exceptional Minds is a vocational program for young adults on the autistic spectrum. We teach them motion graphics, we teach them rotoscoping, we teach them animation, and we try and find what they're really good at so that we can really enhance on that and build on those skills.
Kids with autism feel marginalized because they don't enjoy, you know, that I've heard that the scratch on the chalkboard, the pencil sharpener, it's overstimulation every day, and so it's like torture for them to go to the traditional classroom settings. But if they had school outside, or if they had school where they're painting and they're doing, and they have music going on, and the art is almost like a filter. It helps make their world seem normal, and they fit in when it comes to art, music, and the arts.
It is a very good program for me because it's basically, it's like having a school for which I can basically, you know, I can focus as, for my passion, for what I love to do. You know, simply animation is one of my favorite things. You know, since I like it, I just might as well just do it. You know, even I can just, you know, I want to show it, you know, to everyone.
Kind of wanted to be able to artistically express in a way that, you know, I know people will go and see a movie, I know people will go and see animation. I want people to see things and be able to have like an emotional response to them and be able to find strength or find, you know, that moment of blissful escapism.
I would tell them that to never give up, because these kids can keep learning for their entire life. There's always something that you can teach them, and they want to learn. They can't show it to us, but they want to learn. So find what they're interested in or what you want them to know and break it down into just one little step.
A child that gets straight A's from K through 12 and a child with autism that has learning disabilities and learning difficulties and maybe has deficits in reading and writing, but they might be an award-winning artist one day or filmmaker. Those kind of things need to be developed and uncovered in these children.
One of these days, probably I would work at, you know, one of the TV studios. You know, well, that's basically a long shot. Even I would, you know, make my own, you know, like web channel or something, you know, with my own name, you know, on it. It just, that's pretty much a little big, but I'm pretty sure I can reach, you know, one of those.
Adoption in New York. Where did we go wrong? Pretty heavy topic, Katie. What made you choose a story like this?
I wanted to write a story that would affect people, and at the same time, Make a statement about the problem with adoption in this city.
Well, it looks like you've done your homework.
Oh, yes, I have.
Inclusion Films is a practical film workshop that takes adults with developmental disabilities through the whole process of making a film. And together as a group, we make a film, and it's a vocational program. But it's not just about filmmaking, it's about social skills.
They want companionship too. I would say never give up on putting them out there in the community, finding people for them to be with, and finding things for them to do and ways for them to occupy their time so they feel productive.
I think the strengths of the individuals that come to us are their artistic abilities. They're just unbelievable. And it's having that outlet. It's giving young kids with autism a voice. And it's also to make them a part of something together as a group. Because they don't never get to work in groups. They're always off sketching by themselves or not included in projects. And now all of a sudden, you're making a film or a TV show or something that you're forced to work with other people.
He's the one getting in my way.
Clayton, just stop it, okay? Just stop.
Calm down.
Clayton.
What's going on here? If you guys don't stop it, I'm going to call security.
I love it when a woman gets angry.
You don't want to make this Puerto Rican angry.
We'll call security on Oscar the Grouch.
Filmmaking is collaborative effort. Filmmaking is like building a house. All the ingredients that go into building a house go into filmmaking. That's what's so attractive to these young people. They don't know that. But when they start doing this process, all of a sudden you find out, oh, I need to work with him and I need to work with her. And my strengths here are going to fit with his and the teacher. And all of a sudden, now you have a product. You get to share it. You get to share it with the world. You get to share it with your friends, with your family. So you get to feel like you're a part of something. And that's what's lacking in a lot of kids with autism's lives, being a part of something and giving them a voice.
I'm just a parent that started, that had a vision. There's a lot of room to start other programs like this in other fields. If your child has a passion for something, there's no reason he has to be doing something that has nothing to do with what he wants to be doing or what he's good at doing. Other parents have to step up to the plate and also, turn their visions into reality and, work on setting up other programs. I mean, there's just a tremendous need.
It has been the most enriching experience of my life to have him. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade him except for the suffering. And he bears that suffering with such grace. He handles everything with a smile on his face. Even as stressful as it is, he finds the fun in it. And that's just a gift.
Regarding Isaac's future, I think it's bright. I think that he's got a lot of creative strengths. I think a lot of children on the autistic spectrum flourish when it comes to being outdoors in nature with art, with music, and even animals. It's almost, they connect better with nature and art than humans. And that's okay. And that's not a negative thing. It's just not traditional and it's different.
The bottom line with all of this, and this is my true belief, no matter what kind of disability you have, especially with autism, everyone has a gift. And it's being able to recognize that gift and then cultivate that gift. And it's real simple. It really is. It's not, it's finding the right fit for people.